trying to, sell a concept, a service, or a product to?
Woo!
Exactly. It's actually a very simple, clear process. All right, so value. Let's go right to the rock bottom. Value is defined as the importance, worth, or usefulness of something or someone. Okay? Power is the amount of energy put out or produced in a given amount of time. Okay? And communication is providing or exchanging information. Often the best communication, it's not just someone talking at you, it's the exchange. Validation that what you're delivering is actually what they want to be hearing and that they're learning exactly what you're trying to deliver to them. So today I'm going to talk about three main things. Perception of value. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Who's heard that expression before? All of us, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I'm going to talk about speaking the right language based on values, and I'm going to talk about powerful communication, which is all about persuasion and targeted messaging. All right, I'm going to just go through this in about 10-15 minutes, and by the end, you will all have a few extra powerful models to follow that you can take with you today. All right. So first, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. How many of you have cats? Does anyone in the room have a cat? All right, that's good. We've got a couple. Cats, especially the ones that you let go outdoors, have been known to bring their owners a gift. And it's a gift when a cat brings you a dead mouse, or a dead snake, or a dead bird. If I were to see that, I'd be really not too pleased about that concept, but it's the cat's way of showing they love me, they want to take care of me. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The cat is communicating to me in the cat's language. High-end fashion. The other day I went to Sporting Life, and I was looking at children's clothes. And there was this little tiny, really pretty dress. And it was a Burberry dress. Burberry, high-end fashion label. $300. $300. Am I going to spend that much money on a little dress for a little girl? No, not a chance. Is someone else going to? Yes, because someone else values the brand of Burberry significantly more than I do. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Anyone here in real estate? There's one. The concept of staging your house, right? When you're going to sell your house, you go through all this effort. Maybe you paint all the walls white. You make sure there's minimal furniture. You've got the right paintings on the walls, positioned in the right way. You stage the house so that it presents itself with maximum potential perceived value, because you want to get as much money as you can. If I were to show my house today, it would not be a good show. Would not be a good showing. It's a very busy household, and there's a little bit more clutter that people would want to see there. Okay? So the lesson here is different people value different things. And even in different contexts, different people value different things. And that's really important to understand. Okay. Now, I'm going to spend a little time talking about your personal value. And this is something that has made a big difference in my life. It's one expression. Don't put yourself on the discount rack. Okay? And what that means is you put yourself out there, you make choices, you behave in a particular way, that other people see. And they're going to treat you in the same way that you treat yourself. Okay? So think about yourself. Think about me. If I'm going to be a dress in a store, do I want to be that beautiful dress, Burberry brand, let's say, and my value is, immeasurable, huge value. That means I'm putting myself out there, standing straight, standing tall, standing up for myself, not letting people insult me, not letting people make me feel bad. If you put yourself on the discount rack and don't put yourself out there with confidence and you let people walk all over you, it's a pattern. And so if you don't treat yourself with love and respect, other people won't treat you with love and respect. Now, it's easy enough to say, go out there and treat yourself with love and respect, but what if you grew up in an environment where you didn't feel confident, where your ideas weren't necessarily valued because you saw the world through different lenses, right? So this is an experience I have in my life, okay? A little bit of background on me. Yes, I do have 20 years experience in professional communications, and I've been a professor of business writing at Seneca College, and I'm an entrepreneur, and I love my life. But I'm 42, but I truly believe that I have the wisdom of like a 62-year-old, because a few years back, my mom had a massive stroke, and she was the matriarch of our family. She called the shots. She was a powerful woman, a wonderful woman, an organized woman, a loving woman. I had a very nice upbringing. And my mom had a massive stroke. And so our world changed, and it's a difficult time and everybody has these kind of life-changing experiences. Mine's not especially special or unique. Everybody has these life experiences that, as a result, deliver so much wisdom. So when my mother had a stroke, everything changed. And taking care of my mother at the house, my father was the primary caregiver. Now, my father and my mother were one of those couples who had so much love for each other. It was a very difficult time for my father. Now, my father took care of my mother in a manner that wasn't exactly the way I would do it. And what happened as a result, my father he would reprimand. He would say, not good enough. And I felt that. I felt not good enough. And as a result, my children saw that I had put myself on the discount rack. But it wasn't me who put me there. It's because of other people making you not feel empowered. Okay? So it's easy enough to say, don't put yourself on the discount rack. But what's really critical is that you make sure in your life you surround yourself with the people who lift you up, who inspire you, who support you. And even though the people you love in your family, they're doing their best, and they may not be lifting you or inspiring you, you need to surround yourself with like-minded people so that you can experience what it feels like to truly love yourself. Now I'm going to take it back to the people in your family have different values maybe. My dad always had different values than I did, and so we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the big message is don't put yourself on the discount rack. Find out what your interests are. You may grow up being told, this is the way you need to behave. We don't behave like this. We don't behave like that. You need to follow the rules. As you're growing up, you do. You follow the rules. Now, what's really important though as an individual, especially when you're now in business, you're an entrepreneur, you're going into a marriage, or you're already married, you need to know what's important to you. What do you value? What is it that fuels you? You have to figure that out for yourself. It's no longer about the patterns you were taught in your family. Those patterns get you started, it's very important. But there comes a time where you have to discover what matters to you, what fuels you. And so I'm saying own your own preferences. Find your why. There's a very famous leadership author, and his name is Simon Sinek. And he's written this book that says, Start with Why, How Great Leaders Inspire Everyone to Take Action. Today is about leadership, inspiring change. And if anyone who is a leader hasn't heard of Simon Sinek, this is a fantastic book. I'm going to read the first, just a little, where is it? There we go. There are leaders and there are those who lead. Leaders hold a position of power or influence. Those who lead inspire us. Whether individuals or organizations, we follow those who lead not because we have to, but because we want to. We follow those who lead not for them, but for ourselves. So someone who is a leader is following their dream. They know what they stand for. They know what their why is. And as an individual, if you want to hit self-actualization, live the life where you are living your own values, you need to find out what is it that fuels you. What is your why? So find out what you value. Now, let's talk about a few different languages, okay? I'm going to talk about love languages, and I'm going to talk about business languages, and that's pretty much what I'm delivering to you today. So, has anyone in this room heard about the 5 love languages? This is powerful, powerful stuff. If you haven't heard of it, this changed my life. It explained a whole lot. You know about that too? Fantastic. Good stuff. It is a great book. It's fantastic. And your little boy will be very lucky to know about this concept as he grows up. I love watching him run around the room. I have 2 little boys myself. Mine are 9 and 11. And so I love watching him run around the room with all this confidence. It's wonderful. It makes me happy. There are 5 love languages, okay? And this book is by Gary Chapman, and there's actually a website, 5lovelanguages.com, where you can go and do a little assessment and find out which ones are your priorities. So here we go, 5 love languages. Words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. Okay? So, everybody is a little bit different, and everybody values different things when it comes to your personal relationships. And the assessments on the website, there's one for couples, but there's another one for children. How do you know that you're being loved? How do you perceive love? Okay? Let's say there's someone who's in a marriage, and the husband, his first 2 most important love languages are quality time and acts of service. And to show that he loves you, he gives you quality time. When he's with you, he gives you 100% of his focus, 100% of his time. And acts of service, he does all sorts of things to help you. You know, doesn't ask, goes out, shovels the driveway, gets your car ready, always keeps these things working for you, and you don't even have to think about it. Husband is really showing a lot of love that way. And that's wonderful. How do you think your husband would feel if, while he's giving you his undivided attention, you're sitting there on your cell phone? That'll break his heart. Because quality time is so important to that person. They value quality time. Acts of service, if he values acts of service, and you, as a spouse, are not inclined to help in all sorts of different ways, he's going to feel not appreciated. Now, on the flip side of that, let's say the wife is all about physical touch and words of affirmation, okay? So a hug goes a long way. Sitting and watching TV and cuddling goes a long, long way. The husband of this person may not have physical touch way up there. Oftentimes it's reversed. A person who does not value physical touch, they feel like they're being mauled. So the whole concept of do unto others as you'd have done unto you, and if you really want the physical touch and you're sitting there and you're touching and you're touching and you're touching, but what the husband really wants is your undivided attention, there's miscommunication here, right? You're not speaking the same language. Words of affirmation, same thing. Words of affirmation means that you're going to be told, I love you every day. Thank you, I really appreciate you doing this for me every day. But if you've got a husband who's doing acts of service and wants acts of service in return, that husband may not want to hear, thank you, I love you every day. Because to that person, it may feel like it's just not genuine. Because that's the way they're wired. So this was incredibly important to me, eye-opening, because in my marriage, my highest two are, you may not be surprised to hear me say this, physical touch and words of affirmation. And my husband was acts of service and quality time. We did not speak the same language. Which, moving forward, if you haven't heard of this, it's super, super powerful. Because if someone isn't speaking the same love language as you, it doesn't make them wrong. It does not make them wrong. It just makes them an individual who values different things, right? So in your personal life, and your children too, right? I have 2 little boys. I know that one of them loves gifts, and he loves his stuff. And if you don't give him his stuff, or you don't leave his stuff alone, he gets really upset. Well, if you're someone who doesn't understand the concept of valuing that stuff, you think, oh my gosh, what's wrong with my kid? But this is what really matters to him. And my other son loves quality time. Mom, can we go do this as a family? Mom, can we do this as a family? No, son, I'm going to give you a hug instead. It just doesn't work that way, right? No, so it's really important to understand the love languages. Different people perceive love in different ways. And so if you can find out what your significant other values, then significant improvements in your relationship. So I recommend going to the 5lovelanguages.com website. Just go do it. It builds up some good dialogue. Who knows? You may end up in romance later on in the evening. I'll stop there. Okay, so that's the 5 love languages. Now, bank. What is this bank that we're all talking about? Bank is a methodology. Bank is actually all about communicating in a very powerful way so that you're speaking the right business language to someone else to facilitate sales, converting. So bank is actually all about mastering the science of communication, negotiation, and closing more sales by revealing your prospect's values. It's all about speaking the right language. BANK stands for Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. And it's not rocket science. It's actually super simple. So if anyone in this room has ever done any personality assessments, there's over 200 out there. There's Myers-Briggs, there's DISC, there's True Colors, there's Animals, there's all sorts of different ones out there that have different contexts. Bank coding is the same concept, only it's not about evaluating your personality type, it's about figuring out how to reveal someone else's values. Now we're definitely in the entrepreneurial business space because bank coding has been scientifically proven to predict buyer behavior. So that's the context that I speak in. And the area that I am an expert in is writing content, whether it be content for a marketing campaign, whether it be a proposal. I write content that is written in such a powerful way, when I know who my target audience is, that they will love what they're reading. And that's what Bang is all about. Tony Robbins says, let your prospect determine your presentation. So it's all about identifying what your prospect values before you even get into a presentation. And so the Bang personality types, blueprint, action, nurturing, and knowledge, they are based on way back when Hippocrates, the father of medicine, discovered, the 4 temperaments, and he brought that into his medicine practice. This is the same thing. It's about the 4 temperaments. So, if I am, all right, let me put it this way. Let's see, I'm going to put on my blueprint hat. All right, and so if I'm a blueprint, the things I value are being on time, organization, budgets, staying on schedule, not starting late. All these things are very important to a blueprint, right? So a blueprint will go through life saying, oh my gosh, what's wrong with you? Why are you always late? Why are you so disorganized? How can you never follow a budget, right? These things irritate the heck out of a blueprint, someone who values those things. So if you're in business and you have, an exploration meeting, or hey, you're going to an interview and you show up late, you're done. If someone values blueprint values, you're done. Forget it. You might as well just get out of there, because that's valuable to them. They value stability, okay? So someone who's a blueprint, they love to know what the plan is. You want a plan. So someone who's a blueprint is going to know what's going to happen in their year. They're going to have their vacations planned. They're going to know, they're going to save money. They're going to have all this stuff organized, okay? So someone who's high blueprint, they value those things.